BookTube. Welcome back to the History Shelf. My name is Peg. I am your host, as always. Today's video is kind of an informal, little bit of a hodgepodge for you. I've had some interest from several viewers who have left comments saying that they would like to see the types of magazines I read. I made a video probably over a year ago relating to just the amount of periodicals that I subscribe to. And as you can see in the background, I have a surfeit of of magazines. I'm probably going to let a few subscriptions go by the wayside this year, but not many, because I really enjoy my history magazines, and I actually subscribe to a new one. Bill Ruttenberg is the culprit. He was flashing around to Civil War times, and I used to subscribe to that magazine back when it was called Civil War Times Illustrated. And I was a little, I don't know, 10, 11, 12-year-old, and I was just starting to get into the American Civil War. And I saw it at the newsstand, and I was, Mom, can I get it? And she's like, okay. And so I just started reading Civil War Times Illustrated, and she got me a subscription. And, my mom was always so supportive of my reading. And then I had it for a long time, and then I kind of let it lapse just because I was subscribing to both America's Civil War and Civil War Times Illustrated, and it just became too much to keep up with. But he waved one around, and I'm like, I'd like to support that magazine again. So, so that's a new subscription. But in the meantime, I thought I would just kind of show you, this is by no means all of the ones that I subscribe to, but I've got some journals in here. I picked a few up at the newsstand that I don't subscribe to, and maybe I'll show those first. Although we'll be moving next month, knock on wood, to kind of right now I live nearby a Barnes and Noble right down the road. Hop, skip, and a jump. But where we're moving, it's going to be a longer drive to get to anything, really, which is okay by me. But I might have to subscribe to a couple of these just so I'm not having to schlep out, for these. But you know what? I don't know if I'm going to subscribe to this one or not. But I saw this one on Bill Ruttenberg's channel, and I highly suggest that you go check him out. I will leave a link to him below. He subscribes to World War II magazine, and I saw that he showed this, and I was really interested in the feature article, "Death of a U-Boat." So I have read that. That one was decent. I was hoping it would be a little bit longer. I wanted to know more about the captain of U-352, who was Helmut Rathke. But, it's typical in these smaller History Net, and I like History Net magazines, that they're fine. They sometimes they don't go into a lot of detail. It's more of a very high level type of 50,000-foot view. But it gets you kind of intrigued, and if you want to learn more, then you can, and there's also suggestions for further reading. I thought this was going to, and I still need to read this article. I think this would be cool. I didn't know about Tom Landry. I did not know that he was was he a paratrooper? Wow, where was he? He trained as a pilot, man. So this one I picked up at the newsstand. And then I've been picking these up fairly regularly at the newsstand, and I will probably pull the trigger at some, no pun intended. This is Strategy and Tactics. The last time I showed you one of these, it was I think I still have it over here. It was focusing on Alexander the Great, so every issue has a main focus. And in this case, it's the 30 Years' War, Decisive Battles. So I don't know a lot about the 30 Years' War, so I am really looking forward to having my horizons widened. And maybe that'll just open up a new area for me to explore and just read further into the topic. Um, it is exactly what it says it is. You know, it's a strategy and tactics magazine. I mean, it goes into. Let me move this with my face. Thank you. It goes into more detail, you know, with obviously the military tactics. So if you're not a fan of that, then you're not going to be a fan of this. But if you like military history, um, I think you'd like strategy and tactics. It always looks like they have like just shaved off the top there. But and then strategy and tactics, they have a quarterly version, which is really nice. And I think the last one I showed you was the focus was on World War One, the origins of World War One. And this one is all about China, baby. So I was very excited to see this cover. China, the next war, which is something we need to consider. Yeah, it's a great, it's a perfect bound, as you can see. Definitely, these are the type of magazines I keep. You know, I just, there's a lot of good stuff in here, a lot of well-written articles, and wonderfully illustrated with maps. And this is really a high-res type of really, I like that it goes across the fold. It's just a spread. So, yeah, One Belt, One Road. They're talking about that. So this is good stuff. I mean, if you're into current events and things like that going on with China, and looking at it from just like a military capacity perspective, along with our foreign policy, this is going to be. There's Taiwan. There's a section on about events going on there, and yeah. So I picked this up at the. This is the winter 2021 issue. I mean, it's $16, but if I were to subscribe, it'll be a little bit cheaper. So I probably will do that. Oh, I should say the other one. Again, you can find these if you're interested. They're at your Barnes and Noble newsstand in the history section. So strategy and tactics is $7.99. This is also a little perfect bound. And this is the Jan-Feb 2022 issue. And I should say World War II was February 2022. Okay, so those are the ones I picked up right before my vacation, my Christmas vacation. What else? You guys know that I am a subscriber to the TLS. This one was back from December. I don't know if I've gotten my 31st issue. I probably do. But yeah, I like to browse through here. I don't read everything just because I don't have the time to read every single article. Plus, some of the stuff doesn't always appeal to me. But I'm always looking for. I do enjoy the letters, and I enjoy the politics and the history section. Like food and drink, I would completely pass over. Don't really care. So I get charged like $16. I think every. Is it every month, or is it every quarter? I forget what I'm paying for the subscription, but I enjoy the TLS. And it's good for me to keep reading other people's reviews because, should always be reading. As a writer, you should always be reading too because you want to just see how other people present. You can learn from other people. That's what I'm saying. Oh, yeah, and I wanted to mention this magazine again. Well, it's not a magazine so much as, to me, is like a bound-up journal. But I went ahead and ordered these back issues on Amazon because they don't have a subscription service per se. They say they do, but it's mostly for like the electronic version of it, and I'd like to have it printed. And to have it printed, you need to order them on Amazon. Now, it's a new history magazine. I've talked about this before. This is the latest issue. This is issue 6. It's called Aspects of History. As you can see, a big cover article on Andrew Roberts' new biography, or at least, book about King George of American Revolution fame. This is a very bare bones. It's just the printed page, but that's okay with me. And it's easier for me to notate. I've even reached out to this magazine, and there's a good I had a chance to review one of these books, but I think you do have to either own it or just buy it yourself and then submit the review. But I might do that in the future. But they have book reviews in the back, so I might just go ahead and submit something for aspects of history and see if they like it. But I didn't have. I bought the first couple of issues. I think I bought the first three, and they're in the other room. So I just decided to catch up. So I picked up. Oh, and they're not too much. I think they're $9.99 each. If you just want to order them on Amazon, you just type in aspects of history. So I picked up issue 4, which was about Charles Spencer's new book, which I do want to read, about the White Ship and the death of, was it King? Well, not King, Prince. It was a prince, Prince Edward. Let me see here. It says here on November 25th, 1120, the White Ship and nearly all of its 300 passengers met their tragic and unexpected end when they sank in the English Channel off the Normandy coast. Oh, okay, it wasn't Edward. It was among those on board was William A. Yeah, I know how to say this word. It's just it always stumbles me. William Atheling, King Henry I's only legitimate heir, whose death threw England into chaos and triggered a period of bloody civil war. So this is kind of cool. This is let's see, was this Charles Spencer writing this? Yeah. So Charles Spencer wrote a little piece for this. It's kind of like personal, and then there's an interview. They have an interview. They have interviews in here with authors, book reviews, and yeah, it's pretty cool. They have an interview here with Max Hastings about Operation Pedestal. So anyway, that was issue 4. And then I picked up issue 5, which was Blood and Ruins, Richard Overy on the Great Imperial War, which he has a brand new book out. So this is obviously very much a UK type of magazine or publication, production. I mean, check them out online. They have everything online as well. And if you sign up just for like newsletters and stuff, online newsletters, you'll get 3 free ebooks. It's crazy. It's very generous. So this was issue 5. And again, I like to have print. I'm an old school gal, and I like to read these things in print. And they have a interview in here with Philippa Gregory over her. I mean, there's got a lot of cool stuff in here. I just saw it. What was it? It's an interview with her, and I think they're talking about her latest book, Dark Tides. Okay, so that was 6, and then that was 5, and then this is 6. I think they come out every other month. So they're just getting their feet wet, and you can support them or check them out on their websites. If you like Twitter, look for them on Twitter and stuff like that. But Aspects of History, if you're a history fan, I think you'll like it. So another one I got recently, and I haven't taken the plastic off yet, which you can see is actually stored in the magazine rack behind me. It's Military History Matters. Oh, and by the way, do you see that we have a new portrait in the background? Because we couldn't have one done of Gidget without having Goldie done. And look at this one's called the Duchess. And my goodness, look at my girl. She looks so like she's judging everyone, and I just love that face. That's my girl, Goldie. Oh, man, the new house is going to have some funky portraiture and artwork. All right, so the other magazine. This is also a UK-produced magazine, but I subscribe to it. What the hell, right? It's Military History Matters, and this is the most... What is this one? This was December, January. All about Pearl Harbor. So very cool. Now the only nitpick I have about this magazine is the font size and the type size in relation to everything else. So it's nice big graphics, but then you get this tiny ass type. To me, it's just too tiny. I just wish they'd bump it up a little bit. But beautiful glossy pages with, really enigmatic, not enigmatic. Why can't I think today? It just has really like forceful use of photos, the graphic design, the layout of these issues is always really impressive. Again, I just wish they would bump up the type size. Sometimes it can look a little busy. I do have to say that I don't like the busyness of the caption bars. Eh, I might have something to say about that, but I do like their use of illustrations, maps, and then the really big, this is a great use of, classic photography. And it's very simple. It's very elegant. Just Pearl Harbor, big picture, you know. Anyway, this is you can tell it's like a UK magazine. It's a broader, it's wider, it's larger. Anyway, so that's another one I get. And I know I've probably shown these before, but let me go back to. Well, how about this? I just recently resubscribed to this for $5. They've moved from a biannual publication to quarterly, which to me is much better because I wasn't able to keep up with the bi-monthly ones. But so I stuck with Biblical Archaeology Review. So it's quarterly. They have like a new editor. They did a very recent redesign of the magazine, which is I thought was very well received, at least by me. And this is the winter 2021 issue. Yeah, they have a deal going. It's like $5, and maybe it's just because I was a previous subscriber and they were trying to woo me back. But I got, I mean, for $5, are you going to turn down a subscription? No. So it's just, I like archaeology. I always have. And that leads me into the next subscription that I've maintained consistently, probably almost consistently. I've had a couple of very brief lapses, but I've been a long-term subscriber to archaeology. I mean, it's just fantastic. You can't beat it. I do hate all the little things that fall out of it, like all the inserts, the subscribe. I'm like, I do. It's a wonderful magazine. It's put out by the AIA, the Archaeology Institute of, what is this? The Archaeological Institute of America. Prices do go up over time, but in fact, I have, I love magazines that are like this and have pictures and things that you just kind of want to save. And so I have like magazine binders full of these, at least a few not boxes, but like, those little magazine sleeves or things you can put them in, the magazine holders, whatever. I've got a few of those filled up, but I think in the move I'm going to just recycle those because I'm not going to revisit them. Let's just be honest. So I think from now on, I'm just going to try to stay on top of reading these, and when I'm done, recycle. It'll be hard for me because like this is so beautiful. I can't see myself just. It's not trashing, but it kind of is. You're throwing it into the recycle bin. I don't know who to give this to. It's not like I know anyone that wants to read my cast-off magazines, So 2 more magazines, if you guys are interested. All right. Oh, what else? I am I joined the American Historical Association, and one of the perks that you get for being a member is that you get the perfect bound, like book thickness, kind of quarterly Journal of American History. I don't know why I don't have that with me right now. Again, this is not a comprehensive video over all of the things that that I read or subscribe to. So I do get that one as well, and they're so wonderfully kept. And they're essays, and then at least half of it is book reviews. It's just fantastic. Those I actually shelve on a bookcase. along with some of the other journals that I like to keep, because they're worth keeping. The other thing that you get as a member of the American Historical Association is this monthly little, what do they call this, news magazine. And it's just real simple. It's just called Perspectives on History. Now, this one was the December one, and it's called the fiction issue, but mostly it's not. It just has, like interviews with people in the association. They have like a main essay or two around a certain theme. This one's about teaching with historical fiction. I would imagine, I'm thinking of my friend Bill, that he might find some of these articles interesting. Yeah, Bill, I don't know if you're a member of AHA, but let me know. And I don't know if you like back issues, but I have a lot of these perspectives on history that talk about teaching history, and you're a teacher, so I find them interesting just because I love history, and I am always curious about how it's being taught today, yesterday, how it can be taught tomorrow. So yeah, it's just a very little thin thing. It's nothing major, but they send that out every month. Oh, and then this one I specially subscribe to. I used to subscribe to it, then I lapsed for several years. And I just recently started it up again, and I think I'm due to renew already, but these things are pricey, and the belt is going to be very tight once we move into the new house. So I've got to really make some decisions here. But this is the Journal of the History of Ideas. This is the October 2021 issue. I think I have a newer one already. No, that's November, December. So I think January might be the next one. This one I had to order through the University of Pennsylvania Press. Ooh. And they have a couple of really cool journals in addition to this one that I am thinking about, like Early American Studies, an interdisciplinary journal. They also have, what was the one I was looking at? Oh, I closed it. Well, the Journal of the Early American. Well, this one is like, that might be the same one. No. There's a Journal of Early American History, and it kind of just goes into pre-colonial, colonial, I think revolutionary stuff. So I'm interested in that as well. But anyway, this covers just the history of ideas. It gets into a lot of different. Let's see. Let me give you a few of the contents. What's listed here. It's just something to get your mind going and like perk you up here. The capital of race capitals toward a connective cartography of Black internationalisms. Now, not everything, not every essay in here is something that's going to be like, up your alley, but sometimes you get one and you're like, ooh, this is really cool. There's the Urbild of Einbildung, the archetype and the imagination in 18th century German aesthetics. Okay, maybe not that one. If anything, it's going to teach me something because a lot of these things I'm not aware of. And I like to read new things, I just don't want to reread about the same things that you got to shake it up sometimes, like you can only read about the Battle of, Gettysburg or, Waterloo or whatever it is that's your main fare. You have to kind of shake it up and challenge yourself as a reader. So I guess I really have challenged myself with this one. Now there have been better issues than this one. This one looks like heavy on the philosophy. Oh yeah, when you start putting in, okay, I might not be reading that. I might have to wing this one over to my friend John David. He's our philosophy guy. This is interesting. Oh, well, this might be interesting. Planning the American Future, Daniel Bell, Future Research in the Commission on the Year 2000. What is this? In 1964, the American Academy of Arts and Sciences appointed a special inquiry into the American future, the Commission on the Year 2000, chaired by the sociologist Daniel Bell. The members of the commission were Cold Warriors, defense intellectuals, and modernization theorists, including Bell, Eugene Rostow, Samuel Huntington, whom we are all aware of, right? Ithiel de Solapool, Daniel P. Moynihan, as we know. Most of us know who Moynihan was. He was a Democratic politician back in Reagan's day. Albert Wohlstetter, Paul Vissaker, Karl Deutsch, Brzezinski, Zbigniew Brzezinski, and Herman Kahn. This is interesting. Okay, so I would read that out of curiosity. Like, what were they going to do for that? Epistemological. Okay, so there's a lot going on here. Pardon me. So, Journal of the History of Ideas. I think it's like $32 for 4 issues, like 4 quarterly issues. Okay. So let's go back to military history. I still subscribe to military history. It's a tried and true little publication. Again, it doesn't go into as much detail as, say, Military Heritage, which is another one I subscribe to, which I don't have one handy to show you, but it's over here, right there. But again, it's a HistoryNet publication. But I'm always curious. I have FOMO when it comes to these magazines. I don't want to miss out. And it's a nice mixture of all different periods of military, interactions and warfare. So you go from ancient to World War II to Vietnam to back to, got some Viking stuff going on in here. Yeah. So military history is another one I get. So then I subscribed because I get offers in the mail all the time, right, for different magazine publications. And a lot of them I just put right into recycle again. But this one, and I can't forget to show these other two because someone asked for them specifically. I'm thinking of you. This one, they offered it to me for dirt cheap. And I looked at just a sample of some of their articles, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. So if any of you subscribe to this, let me know what you think. But this is the Hedgehog Review, Critical Reflections on Contemporary Culture. I think I got this for like $19.95 as opposed to like normally $40 or something crazy like that. Yeah, because each issue is $14. So it's quarterly. So yeah. So I had it was super marked down. Very nice production value. Like the paper color is like a creamy eggshell off, like white. It's beautifully made. There is a really cool article in here. This is going to be good. So I mean, there's going to be some items in here I'm really gonna twig to, like Another City, Augustin before the modern, But I've got a 1-year subscription, so I will get a feel for it and see if it's something that I want to keep up. But probably not something where every item will be of interest to me. Now they have an ad here for another journal that I was subscribing to, but it's a weird subscription where you have to go onto their website, buy a 2-issue subscription, and then when the next 2 come online, or if one's available, then you buy 2 more. It's weird, but it's called Athenaeum Review, and they had some good historical articles. I have a few of their issues already. I might go back and get the back issues, but they had articles by Alan Gelzo, talking about Robert E. Lee, and so Athenaeum Review was another one that I really enjoyed. This looks really good. So there's an article here, Chasing Phyllis Wheatley. This looks great. So it's a mixture, contemporary culture, art, history, current events, even fashion. What? Yes. Anyway, sorry, I'll just get lost in it. So this is the fall 2021 issue. I probably should have looked for this at. Oh wait, no. Hello, I just said I'm getting a subscription. Yeah, it'll come in the mail. I just need to be patient for the winter issue. Um, that's cool. They put the table of contents on the back. If you just want to look at some of those topics, see if anything is. I love and book reviews, which I just love reading these book reviews. Oh, a great one on the Enlightenment: Pursuit of Happiness by Richard Hughes. Well, that's not by him, but he wrote the review. Sorry. Okay, so Hedgehog review, which ties in with obviously the Isaiah Berlin famous story, or the hedgehog and the fox. And people fall into two categories, is what he says, or he thinks, and I would definitely fall into the hedgehog variety. I mean, I read widely, but I can really focus in on a couple of main things that I know a lot about, Russian, Soviet Union history, American Civil War, American history in general. I am pretty well up on, but yeah. So Hedgehog review obviously must come from that. So just to end, gosh, I've already been nattering on for 30 minutes about magazines, and that's not a comprehensive showing. In fact, I had more over here to show you. Let me throw in a couple more. Well, right now I'm getting this in the mail because I do write reviews for Library Journal. So it's pretty cool. It just gives you reviews. I'm not a librarian, but I enjoy reading the quick snippets in the back, the book reviews. I've had some of mine published in here, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, so Library Journal. For a small donation, I'm glad I just remembered to get this off the floor. I wanted to show you this. I don't know if many of you guys are aware of this, and you don't have to be a Christian to be interested in this. I mean, if you are interested in Christian church history, you might really like this. But it's called Christian History. You just go to their ChristianHistoryMagazine.org. You can make a donation of any amount that you can afford: $5, $10, and they will sign you up for a subscription. I am not kidding. I mean, it's been that way since I haven't gone to the website to see if they've changed their subscription, stuff, but they want it to be available to anyone, and no matter what your financial circumstances, just even whatever you can afford, they're happy to sign you up, and you get just wonderfully, just elegantly laid out stories of Christian moments in history, from royal saints to holy fools, the Eastern Orthodox tradition, and civic power. And every issue has a theme. So let's see, one of the past issues had women in the Reformation. One had Jack at Home, which was all about C.S. Lewis. And so it's kind of neat that each issue is definitely built around a theme. A lot of these other magazines you see, it's just a hodgepodge of different articles from different eras. But this builds it up around a centralizing theme. So I really enjoy Christian History, City of Man. And I think there was an article in here where I thought of Andrew B. because they highlighted the communal living space. What was it? Oh, remind me, Andrew. You did a whole study on this, first communal place in America that didn't really go anywhere, but it was Robert Owen, right? if it's not in this one, I know it's in the previous issue. And it doesn't, these all go by issue number. So this is issue 141. But I always make sure that I donate, and they have a lot of great stuff, and you can always order the back issues too. So that's one I enjoy, and then one I don't really have to sell at all because, you know, I don't have to sell any of these, but I know a lot of you guys are big readers of National Geographic history. These are keepers. These are National Geographics that you want to store in your basement. Do you know what I'm saying? They're just beautiful. Just beautiful. Oh, I love it. So that's another one. And then, of course, I do stay on top of, this is from November, December. I think I have a later one. I think this is one of the ones I'm letting my subscription lapse just so I can read the last few ones that arrived and then still see if I want to read them. But I do get foreign affairs. I am interested in foreign policy and developments and just how we relate to the world. You can get a lot of really cool tie-ins to, well, there's a lot of history articles as far as, I mean, history, you know, informs everything about our foreign policy and our relations with other countries. You know, the myth of Russian decline, how Moscow will be a persistent power. I find that very intriguing. That to me is very of interest to me. Obviously, I have an interest in Russia, and I just saw a picture in here of Kissinger. Here's a really interesting article, Order Before Peace, Kissinger's Middle East Diplomacy and Its Lessons for Today. So you can see how history informs today throughout a lot of these different essays and articles. So that's why I do, or I did subscribe to Foreign Affairs. I do want to catch up. Hang on. I do want to catch up. Here we go. Here's the new one. I haven't taken out of its wrapper yet because it's brand new, but this one I'm really wanting to read, the New World Order of Xi Jinping, very important. Digital Disorder, War and Peace is the name of the article. War and Peace in the Cyber Age. So that's going to be, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't, maybe I shouldn't unsubscribe. It's just good stuff, but you know what? There's so much in here. And I've taken on a lot of stuff in my life in the last 2 years, which I love. I love all the things that I'm doing. But this is like sitting down with a book, if you think about it, because it's pretty, you know, there's a lot going on in Foreign Affairs magazine. There's a lot of reading, but it's good stuff. So that's one I've, you know, oh, who knows? If they have a deal, I'll probably come back. They'll probably offer me you know, come back to us, we miss you. I'm so awful. Oh, this is another one. This is one I let lapse because I can't keep up. And I had to let New York Review of Books lapse because I can't keep up. And I've decided to keep TLS in lieu of London Review of Books. I still get these, even though my subscription ran out. They're still trying to get me to resubscribe. I just can't. So I had to choose. Which one do I like more, TLS or London Review of Books? And I'm like, I think I like TLS. So, yeah. You just can't read it all, you know? Okay, so as you know, on this channel, I do read history, love it. But I do read fiction. And mystery, rhymes with history, is one of my favorite genres. So back many years ago, probably 15, 20 years ago, I probably had a subscription to these. When they used to come monthly, now they do these double-decker issues, and it comes bi-monthly. But for anyone who's looking for a really good like mystery magazine assortment or anthology, you can't go wrong. I'm going to say Ellery Queen first. I love Ellery Queen. And I save these because I like to go back. Every time they introduce new authors all the time, and a lot of the times I haven't heard of these people, but they already have a few books written, and I'm like, well, I want to go check out their work, you know. But Ellery Queen is really really tight with their mystery stuff. I really enjoy Ellery Queen. I read it front to back, cover to cover, and it's just really relaxing when you just want to turn your mind off from the digital age, cyber war, and Russia and China's rise and all this kind of crap. You pick up one of these. And then, of course, the other one is you can't go wrong with Alfred Hitchcock's Mystery Magazine. Now, these are both the January, February issues. I've just renewed. So when we move, I got to make sure, get all my address changes in for all of these periodicals. But again, the interesting difference between Ellery Queen and Alfred Hitchcock is Ellery Queen does the dual columns on each page, right? And Alfred Hitchcock is just one big page of text. I'm not sure which one I prefer. I think I actually prefer. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a nice contrast. I think I might prefer Ellery. I don't know. I kind of like both. But anyway, so Mystery Magazine lovers, check out these guys. They're like $35 a year to subscribe. And they've been around forever, and they should be around. They should stay around. So those are some of the periodicals that are haunting my life and calling out for me. But yeah, I have let a few lapse, and I'm going to try to get some caught up on a few of the others, and then go from there. But let me know what you think of these. If you have any suggestions on certain journals or things that I might have overlooked. I have at one point looked at every magazine under the sun, I think, when it comes to history. So I've narrowed it down to the ones that are essential for me. But let me know if I've missed any. And in the meantime, sorry for this 41-minute video, but I hope you enjoyed it. More videos to come, so stay tuned. And thanks, everyone, for subscribing and commenting. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you soon here back at the History Shelf. Bye.